And counting down. 5, 4, 3, and we are live. Yes, okay, all right. Here we are, getting live in a little bit of a pre-stream. Tad bit of music to carry us into the show.
Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In the search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the jigger, just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, is he yours or is he mine? Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In our search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. We're missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devil's at a crossroads, joker's doing fine. Just sitting doing time.
Yes, that's become the permanent opening song, just sitting at the crossroads, doing time. Okay, we're about to go live, and we will bring it all up here. There we go. There we be. Okay. We have a great episode for you today. But of course, as usual, for those that drop in on the stream and check it out, if you pop in early to the stream, you can take an opportunity to ask me questions. I'll be happy to answer them before I go live with the show, or stick around after the show and ask questions. I'll be happy to do that too. I always like a good discussion. It's lots of fun, really adds to the show. May not make it into the stuff that goes out to the podcast, but there's that. All right, it is time. Let's wind this puppy up. It's episode 413, and I've got plugins for WooCommerce discounts, post excerpt control, adding images to menus, and ClassicPress options, all coming up on WordPress plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the brewery overlook in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. I'm John Overall, and I have the usual great show for you today. But of course, right off the top, don't forget you can get all the show notes over at WPPlugins, A2Z.com. And if you got a couple of minutes, I greatly appreciate your time over at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store, subscribing to the show and leaving reviews. Been a while since I've had a review. Hey, if you're listening through iTunes or somewhere, please leave me some reviews. Let me know how things are going. Or you can leave me comments on YouTube. Happy to have those too. All right, you can also watch me live every Thursday at noon on the YouTube channel, where you can subscribe, check out our training videos, screencasts, and extra shows as they appear. You can follow the show on Twitter at WPPlugins A to Z. Join me on our Facebook page at WPPlugins, A2Z.com/Facebook. And for lots of other tidbits and information, subscribe to the newsletter. It's real simple to do. Just go to the website, enter your name and email address, confirm it, and you're done. We get great stuff there. My marketing manager, she does a great job of getting a newsletter out week after week with lots of great information. All right. With all of that, let's dive right into the meat and potatoes of the show. All right, and as usual, I have a great set of plugins for you today. And to start off, I have a plugin that I have yet to use, but thought you might want to know it exists. Keep in mind, the ratings are based off of descriptions on their site and using their demo if it's available. And these are plugins that are submitted to me by various developers or users who recommend plugins, and I just don't get a chance to actually physically test them. But instead of just letting them go into the waste bin, I bring them to you so you might know about them and maybe check them out yourself. So first off, I have a plugin that was sent in by Premium Woo Developer, and this is called After Order Discounts for WooCommerce. Now, this is an interesting little plugin in that what it does is it allows you to set up multiple ways of creating discount coupon codes for your regular customers. The plugin provides for ways for you to create a coupon code, which is based on order conditions, or on a fortune wheel, where you can create a coupon where they spin the wheel and get a specific discount based on where the wheel lands. You can create an unlimited number of rules with different conditions and discounts. You can also show the wheel fortune at any selected page. The plugin is relatively easy to use, they say. They do have a demo site, so you can go check out the functionality. It looks pretty decent from the back end from what I can tell, and it looks like it could help you improve your sales on your website. Maybe offer upgrade discounts or spin the wheel and get 10% off their next purchase. Who knows? Something like that to encourage people to keep coming back to you. It does look like a rather useful plugin if you're running a WooCommerce store. So go check this plugin out. It's called After Order Discounts for WooCommerce, and I give it a 3-dragon rating. All right, a little bit of news from the world of WordPress. Here's a great one. This is a great way of how the news media doesn't always portray things in the greatest light. It's titled Disgruntled Security Firm Discloses Zero-Day flaws in Facebook WordPress plugins. Well, if you were under a rock last week, you might not have caught the news, but Facebook's official plugins, two of Facebook's official plugins, had 0-day flaws that could be exploited. And this disgruntled security firm, when I looked in this stuff up, I find sometimes it's just they're talking about the exposure of these flaws or disgruntled security firm. Well, this disgruntled security firm has had their run-ins with the WordPress forums, which is why they're considered disgruntled. I don't blame them sometimes, but go check the article out. It's really quite good. If you use any of these two plugins, Messenger Customer Chat or Facebook for WooCommerce, you need to make sure these plugins are updated because they eventually, I think they got them up to date. I'm not sure. I hadn't read whether there's been some up-to-dates on them. At any rate, if you're using them, you either want to disable them or make sure you've got an updated version of them because they do allow, open up a massive security hole in your site. This leads us into the next article. This is an article of how do WordPress sites get hacked? What does the data say? Now, many people don't realize that WordPress core in and of itself is probably very, very secure. It seems to be very secure. They've got a dedicated team to the security for it. They put out regular patches for the core, but that's not where most websites get hacked from. The vast majority of WordPress websites are hacked because one, they not keeping the core up to date. Another is through their plugins. Over 50% of all WordPress websites are hacked through a plugin, usually a plugin with a flaw in it, such as the two we just described, or plugins that I've gotten out of date and the flaw has been exposed, or through a plugin that you have turned off and are not using. So keep that in mind. Yeah, and then second in the list is brute force, and then core, theme, hosting, file permissions, and it goes down the list. This is a really interesting article to take a look to see where the flaws are in WordPress and how it gets hacked. So you might want to keep that information in mind. And if you're managing customers, you got to keep this information in your head as to how you're building out security of the sites you're building. Now we've got another plugin. It seems to be a week of plugins that have some problems in them. The WordPress chat plugin bug lets hackers inject text and steal logs. And this is the admins of the WP live chat support installations. So if you use WP live chat support for WordPress, you should immediately update the plugin to the latest version because the current version there allows people to get in there, inject text, and steal your logs. And this is a very important thing. So this is another interesting article, and this is something you'll want to pay attention to. So go check this article out if you're using this particular plugin. The final piece of news I've got for you here is, this one's a little bit older. Actually, no, it's relatively recent. It's a couple weeks old, but it was really big a couple of weeks ago. The WordPress sites worldwide hit with the call girl search engine pollution. This is a web spam campaign. It was mostly targeted towards Koreans, but it impacted many people across the globe. Now, it's a nice article talking about how this hack was done, a little bit about how to prevent it, and some stuff you'll want to pay attention to. So go check out this article. So it's a good roundup this week of security articles, and you'll want to make sure you keep the security of your WordPress site up to date. This show currently brought to you by... Are you tired of the same old web hosting? Not having the resources you need to run your website properly? Having a lack of control? Then you need johnoverall.com web hosting, providing you with all the resources you need to smoothly run your WordPress website or ClassicPress website. With strict limits on the number of clients allowed per server, johnoverall.com provides high quality, fast server performance. Visit johnoverall.com for web hosting that won't slow you down. Absolutely, and I can also handle all your WordPress needs, especially if your site has been hacked, cracked, or something else. I specialize in fixing broken WordPress websites and getting them back up and running. Contests. Our contests are powered by the Simple Giveaways plugin, who've kindly provided us with a premium version for our contest. Really great plugin. You'll want to go check that plugin out. Looks like their webpage is a little bit broken at the moment, but their plugin still functions, and it's a great little plugin. We use it for all our contests. We currently don't have a contest running, but we will have one coming soon. So stay tuned to the show, the newsletter, or go check out the website at wpplugins.com/contest or more information or when we announce the next contest. All right, the next plugin I've got for you here is called Advanced Excerpt. This plugin here, well, there are times when you need to control or add specialized excerpts to your site. I recently had to help a client out with this. He was using a theme that when you did not have a proper excerpt on the poster page, it created an excerpt based upon the first paragraph. And then it did a really nice thing, was it added a text, read more after that, so people could click and continue on to the rest of the article. Well, what we're doing and fixing up the SEO on his site, and of course, having that excerpt in your page really helps with the SEO, having a good crafted excerpt. And when we started doing that, we noticed that his excerpts no longer were consistent, and plus they didn't have the read more link. And this was a flaw in the theme he was using. It wasn't a flaw anywhere else, but his site had been built out. He was happy with the theme, so we needed to find a way to make the excerpts properly work. We discovered this plugin here, the Advanced Excerpt plugin, installed it, and lo and behold, it set it up beautifully. It allows you to control the excerpts, even allows you to put HTML code in the excerpt block, which is a fantastic thing, having HTML code in the excerpt block. You can also limit the excerpts to a specific number of words, and it will cut that off at the end of a sentence versus in the middle of the line if you've got more words than you've allowed in your excerpt. It's a nice way to keep your excerpts consistent. It adds that little read more link at the end. There's a whole lot more controls you can do with this plugin to your excerpts throughout your website. So fantastic plugin, worked exactly the way it's supposed to do. Simple, and of course, free. Where else does this plugin go but a 5-dragon rating? Go check it out, the Advanced Excerpt plugin. All right, listener feedback. I do love listener feedback. Please, folks, send some my way. I'll be happy to share it with the rest of the listening audience. You can contact me off the website contact page. You can hit me up on SpeakPipe. Send an email direct to john@wppro.ca. Multiple ways to get a hold of me. Facebook, Twitter, all kinds of ways. So, and I'll be happy to bring your information to the show. If you got specific requests for a plugin or something, I'll be happy to do the research and hunt it down and find it. Anything like that. Think of it a way to get a little bit of something for next to nothing but your time. This show also being a value for value model, meaning if you get any value out of it, please give some value back by becoming a producer and helping support the show. You can do that by donating money to help the show or submitting artwork at the WP Plugins Art Generator. You can submit articles, news, information, submit plugin suggestions for reviews, or something I may not have thought of. Please, folks, this is your show as much as it is mine. I do this not just for myself, but for you. So, hey, join in, help me produce this show by providing things you want to hear and you would like to see shared out. I'd like to acknowledge the producers who have supported the show in various ways. Thanks to our new producers for donating time and artwork. This week's cover art comes from Angel Lemieux at koadigital.com, K-O-A digital.com. He has some really great art and digital designs on his website, so go give him some love there, and you'll see his art starting to appear not only in our iTunes art, but on the website everywhere. And as soon as I've got a little bit more art, I'll be creating a gallery that showcases all the artwork that is submitted, so that there'll be a great way for people to share that art there. And the art is through Creative Commons, so it'll be able to be used for pretty much anything. Donations of $50 and over are credited with a producer credit in the show notes, and their note is read out on the show. And for all of those who come in below $50, they remain anonymous, and I thank you very much. This week, I would just like to say thank you to all of the small donations out there. They really help support the show. The money doesn't make it into my pocket as of yet, and currently it just goes to help pay for the transcripts, the server bandwidth, etc., basically just the cost to run this show, and currently it's not even covering that. But so hey, think about that. Help this show out, folks. You can create a monthly donation at Patreon or just go to wppluginsa2z.com/donate to create a donation in any amount that suits you. All right, next thing I've got for you is a plugin called Menu Image. This plugin here, I was originally going to use this plugin to add images to a menu on a site I was working on. In particular, what I was working to do was I was going to add some social media icons to a menu for a theme that didn't support them in the menu. And this looked like a very simple way to do that. You add this plugin, and what it does is it adds a new section in your menu editor that will allow you to go in, upload images, and you can stick that image in front of or after your menu text, or you can hide the menu text. And this was my goal, was to hide the menu text and just have the image there for people to click on to the different social media links. Unfortunately, the theme I was working with on this particular project was not compatible with this plugin. It just didn't work the way it demoed and tested out for me. And I had to abandon it, but it's a really great looking plugin. It seems to do a really great job. And if you're looking for something like this, or you just want to add image icons in front of your menu items without having to go through a whole lot of work, this is a plugin you'll want to go check out. Go check out Menu Image, and I give it a 4 dragon rating. And so to cover off a little bit more, what did I do instead? I found a way of using favicons, not favicons, what are those icons called? Those text icons, using text icons in your menu. And there's a great article out there. I'll get a link and try to get that into the show notes. Okay, ClassicPress options. What do we got for ClassicPress options? Of course, since the release of Gutenberg and its fallout, ClassicPress has garnered a lot of attention. This fork of WordPress focused on business websites and looking pretty good. They're moving along at a decent pace at the moment. Need a cough block. Anyway, they're moving along at a decent pace right now with the development of ClassicPress. It's in version 1, I believe, and I am looking forward to see how it develops. I've got a couple of websites I built on ClassicPress. I still weigh, whenever I do a new website now, I weigh the pros and cons of whether or not to go with ClassicPress. And it's going to end up more and more that way. I've covered a lot of news and information in the past few weeks about companies that are dedicating more time to ClassicPress and companies that have committed to supporting ClassicPress while staying supporting of WordPress. So this is going to be a while. They may have hit a minor plateau at the moment, but I'm sure they will suddenly have a spring forward. Currently, right now, there's not a lot out there as far as news and information goes with ClassicPress. I don't have a lot of plugins at the moment. I keep hunting for them, and I haven't found any new ones yet. I'll have to cover up some of the lesser needed plugins that exist in ClassicPress to help that out a bit. But I know that there's some news in the ClassicPress community about a fork of WooCommerce, a plugin for SEO that works better than Yoast one does. There's a lot of information, and this is going to take a little bit of time. But right now, I'm just we'll hold it this week nice and even, talking about ClassicPress and how great it really is, because I do see it as a great thing. At the moment, there's not a lot to it. And there is more information that will be coming out in a soon time period, I hope. But we shall see. So that's really all I've got for ClassicPress this week. There's not a lot there. But more will be coming. I'll make an effort this next week to pull in even more stuff on ClassicPress. So that covers up in this episode. I covered up the following plugins: after order discounts for WooCommerce, which I gave a 3 to, the advanced excerpt, which I gave a 5 to, and the menu image, which I gave a 4 to. Few reminders out there. There is a new interview that got published out this week, and that interview is with Tom, Zach, and Michael from Rebussify. Haha, I learned how to pronounce their name. And it's a really great interview with all three of them talking about Rebussify and how well it works. It's a plugin for getting verified, about their verified interviews plugin for, somehow I got that all messed up. It's a talking about their verified reviews plugin for WooCommerce that uses the blockchain. It's a really great interview. They're a great bunch of guys. I was happy to have them on this show. So go check out the podcast. Go check out that episode of the podcast and check out the stuff in the show notes and check out their website at rebussify.com. Also, the next WordPress meetup is in Victoria on June 23rd. That's this coming Sunday, considering today is June 20th. And it's going to be at the Boston Pizza in Victoria, where it will not be broadcast live on YouTube. It is just a social get together to talk about WordPress and meet and greet some people and have fun. So if you happen to be in the Victoria area, please come on down to the Boston Pizza in Victoria. Link is in the show notes. You can get there by going to wppluginsa2z.com/meetup for all the specifics and information. Be sure to check out and subscribe to the YouTube channel for WP Plugins A to Z, where you can find training videos, screencasts, and of course, the live show here every week at noon. Always happy to have people in here asking questions, having fun. Audience has been growing, so I look forward to seeing it develop. Don't forget, if you're a developer out there, you want to support the show, you can donate a premium license which will be used in a future contest. Please go to wppluginsa2z.com/plugin contest and be sure to take a few moments and subscribe to our newsletter. That's all I've got for you. So I'm going to let my girl take us out of here. So take care now. Bye-bye.
Reminders for the show. All the show notes can be found at wppluginsa2z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the Friday newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsa2z.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Also, follow the show on Twitter at WP Plugins A to Z. John can be reached at his website at johnoverall.com or send him an email, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today. Thanks for listening, Hemdian. You have yourself a great day. I appreciate it. You all take care now. Bye.